Yes, yes, Rhonda. Thank you. I am willing. What are you willing? Oh, girl, I could go. I could go from that song right here. Yes, I could, but I won't. I won't. So, welcome again, everybody, to Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living. So, I have an invitation for you. If you feel so moved and you are in a place where you can, we would love for you to turn on your video. We would love to see you. I know when I speak that it just adds to me to see the faces looking back at me versus just names on the screen. But no pressure. Thank you, Bill. No pressure. Thank you, Sue. If you're not in a place where you can, we totally understand. We're just glad for your presence. So I get the pleasure and the honor of introducing our guest speaker today. And it is extraordinary to, I realize that I have journeyed probably a third of my life with this person. Yeah, yeah. So I felt Sekou Wrights was the perfect person. Now, when I asked him, I didn't know this was going to be our topic because I asked guest speakers like almost a full year before, right? And I asked him almost a full year before, and he said yes, not knowing a whole bunch of things were going to happen, but he said yes. And he is wrapping up our November theme. Our November theme is the mundane, the sacred, the profane. Oh my. So Sekou gets to talk about the oh my part of sacred, mundane, and profane. We had a good time, y'all, last Sunday at our in-person service at the Rhino Comedy Club. We did a whole process around the profane, and I'm not going to curse today, y'all. I got in so much trouble with my mama. So I won't curse today. But we blended the sacred and the profane. And we did a exercise where we gave gratitude for those things that may have appeared as profane. And profane means outside the temple. That's the origins of the word profane, outside the temple. And so we did a beautiful process. And so I want to thank everyone who joined us for our in-person service. So let me get to the man of the half hour or so. Sekou Wrights. Sekou is the epitome of oh my, the epitome of oh my. So he ran his first marathon last year, 4 months after suffering a massive stroke that most people die from. He suffered amnesia. He had to learn to do everything again. He ran his second marathon earlier this month. And there's so much more, but I will share just a little bit. So I met Sekou over 25 years ago. He lived across the street from me in Brooklyn, and we became fast friends. So I'm grateful for his friendship of love, of encouragement, and of truth. He has seen me through a lot, and I have seen him through a lot. He's an author. He is a speaker. Sometimes he refers to himself as a professional creative. He released his latest book this month, this year, Hack Your Pain Now. That's available on Amazon. I would really encourage you to get it. Sekou has his own show on New Thought Media Network called the Be Your Own Hero Show. And the show focuses on inspiration and investing in yourself. I am a witness to Sekou doing and being his own hero. So I'll end this introduction by quoting Les Brown, who had this to say about Sekou Wrights. Les Brown said, Sekou Wrights is a demonstration of how people live their lives or let me start again. Les Brown said, how people live their lives is a result of the story they believe about themselves. So when they hear Sekou, they get inspired to dismantle their current belief system, and they get ignited by a spirit of courage and determination in them. They become, as Mother Teresa said, a pencil in the hand of God. So I present to you Sekou Wrights, who is definitely a demonstration of a pencil in God's hands. Sekou.
Ashe.
Ashe.
That was so good. I felt like that was the whole thing. Like you did the whole thing for me. Like, wow. Just a sidebar, really quick. That quote by Les Brown happened before the stroke happened, and things that happened to me before the stroke and things that happened to me after seem separate to me. So you reading that quote was the first time I've heard that quote since my stroke. And I just listening to you read those words was like, wow, Les Brown said that about me. Wow, that's really, really impactful, really impactful. So hey, folks, I'm Sekou Wrights. I am a professional creative, as Reverend Mel said, and I am the host of the Be Your Own Hero show. That's Monday through Friday, 9:45 a.m. So come check me out. And also, I am the author of Hack Your Pain Now. Hack Your Pain Now. Once again, I have to emphasize that the book, even though it was released recently, does not fall within what's happened to me since the stroke. See, I wrote this book before the stroke, but I didn't publish it until after the stroke because I found it. It was just pages I found in my mom's house. I found it, I flipped through it. I was like, what is this? And that's how I discovered this book that I've now released. So please, please, please check it out. It is helpful to me. It is helpful to me. And if it's helpful to me, it'll be helpful to you. If it's helpful to me, it'll be helpful to you. It's how to get past the troubling circles in our past, the troubling circles we're currently experiencing, right? Just take the ride with me. Take the ride with me. Check out the book. All right, done. All right, so let's just take a deep cleansing breath into ourselves. And look at the lighting. Can you all see the lighting right here? The lighting right here, that's so nice, right? The universe is cultivating with me, working with me. And this is by the way, all right, one more thing. This is, by the way, where I am for the Thanksgiving holidays, because I went north to Cape Cod and now I'm at my mom and dad's house. And so they just got me here to assess things. So that's it. That's all I want to say. Okay. So oh my. God will place you at the right God will place you at the right place and the right time, but you got to do the right thing. I'm gonna say that again. God will place you at the right place and at the right time, but you got to do the right thing. June 14th, 2022. That day seems like yesterday. It seems like yesterday. And even though it wasn't, it feels like I'm reliving that episode every day. Because I got up, I did my run. For those of you who are interested in it, it's still online because I was keeping track of my runs. And I recorded my run, and then I went to do a graduation. So I was giving a graduation speech to school children and their parents, and I realized my mouth wasn't working. my mouth wasn't working. Just as I was speaking, just as I was starting the program, my mouth wasn't speaking. And so the co-teacher took the microphone away from me and started speaking because my mouth wasn't working. And then I sat down for a second to catch my breath. I sat still, and one of the parents spoke to me. She said something, and I said something back, and she didn't understand what I said. I said something back, and she just laughed, and I was like, "What I said wasn't funny." And what just came out of my mouth? And so I was like, I need to get some air. And I stood up, said, I'm gonna get some air. I turned to my left, and then I couldn't keep my step. I fell backwards, just fell backwards. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. But two hands caught me and held me and guided me. And from then on, lights out, lights out. And what I want to be grateful for is that someone was there to catch me. Someone was there to catch me. I didn't just fall. Someone was there to catch me. And I went back to that same event this year. And she came up to me and she said, I don't know if you remember me, but I want you to remember that I'm the woman that called you. I said, listen, I remember you exactly. I remember you exactly. Even with all the amnesia, I remember you exactly. And I was hoping to meet you because you held me. You held me. And she just caught me. And so my thing that I did that got me to the right place at the right time was I chose to be there because I was like, I wasn't sure I wanted to do the graduation thing. I was like, yeah, all right, I'll do it. So that is me choosing to be there because if I hadn't been there, where would I have been? I would have been at home. I would have been at home. So I would have had this stroke and I wouldn't have been supported by anybody. I wouldn't have been caught by anyone. I wouldn't have the ambulance called immediately. Like everything happened like this, because of my familiarity with what was happening. So that was strong. That was strong. So I just want to say it again, God will place you at the right place at the right time, but you got to be willing to do the right thing. And my gratitude was someone was there to catch me. Moving on. Oh my. Oh my. People will give you excuses. I'm going to say it again. People will give you excuses. Now, I got to tell you about the cane. See, when I first woke up, what I remember seeing was a wheelchair in my room. Now, mind you, I had complete amnesia. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anything. But what I remember was seeing that wheelchair and deciding I did not want to ride in a wheelchair. That's all I knew. I did not want to ride in that wheelchair. And so I used to piss the nurses off. I used to piss them off. They used to make them so mad because they had me, stuck with all the tubes and all the things. But what I would do, Lord forgive me, is I would wait till it was nighttime and there were no nurses around, and I would take all the things off, and then get up out the bed to go to the bathroom. Now it was right there, but I had to get up and go to the bathroom, and it was hard. It was hard because my right hand side of my body was completely paralyzed, and so I had to cook it with one arm, one side, and get to the bathroom and then get back. And they would be so mad. They'll be so mad. They would shout out to Pastor Rush. They used to wait for Pastor Rush to come in, be like, listen, brother, you got to do something about him pulling out all the cups, all the things out. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. And mind you, my amnesia was such that I didn't know who Rush was. I didn't know who my mom was. I didn't know who these people were. I didn't know who I could trust, in other words. But I just knew that I didn't want to wait in that. I didn't want to ride in that wheelchair. But meanwhile, they got me transferred to another building, and now they had a cane. I gave up on a wheelchair. Now they got a cane. And I was trying to use the cane, but not use the cane. So I hid the cane in the bathroom. I hid it. So that when they came to talk to me, they say, "Where's your cane?" And I was like, "Oh." And I couldn't talk yet. So I was like, "Oh." Right. And so this is what you gotta learn. This is what you have to accept though. I had to accept that I had to step out on faith. By telling them that I didn't have the cane, I had to step out on faith that I was going to be willing and able to operate without the cane, because they put me to the test. They put me to the test. There was one little Asian woman. She was like, "Oh, you don't know where your cane is?" And I was like, mm. It's like, "You don't know where your cane is." I was like, mm-mm. But I could feel her knowing that my cane was around there somewhere. And she took me through the rings. She took me through the rings. She walked me all the way around, and it was hard. It was hard. Like, I want you to not understand how difficult it was, because I'm walking with one side of my body paralyzed. Any 2 steps without something to hold on to was terrible. It was terrible. But I walked it without the cane because I told her the cane was hidden somewhere, right? And so that was a situation of gra- mm, gratitude situation. Says that they will achieve as much as I believe I can achieve. They will let me achieve as much as I believe I can achieve. So me being strong enough to test those get yous, those around the clock things, was enough to try it. Right. Okay, so that leads me to the next oh my. Oh my. You have to create smaller goals. Oh my, you have to create smaller goals. Because I didn't realize once I got out of the system, I didn't realize how little I could walk. Because I told you, the woman, she walked me around the floor. I felt like that was enough, right? Like that was enough. But I decided that I was gonna walk it. I was gonna get out and walk the neighborhood. I was gonna walk in a block. So I got up earlier than my mom. I had to get up early because my mom gets up early. So I had to get up real early. But I wanted to get out there and do it. So I got up and I went out there. I haven't told this story yet to anyone, but I got outside and I walked, like this block is like 3 houses and then a little block. Right. So it was already half a block. And so I stepped out intending to walk this block, because I've done this thing a million times. And then I got halfway down that first block and I was like, uh-oh. And then I got around the fourth house and made the left, and I was like, oh, I need to go home now. I need to go home. Like, I can't tell you how short a distance is, how small a distance is. You'll be shocked. If I could show it to you, you'd be shocked. But I felt myself give way. My legs started shaking, my knees started shaking. I was dragging my right hand side. It was early in the morning, so no one was up, and I was just trying to make it. And I made it just in time for me to collapse into my bed and just be there for the rest of the day. And I was done. And it hurt me so much to know that I couldn't even walk a block, half a block. I couldn't even make it half a block, right? And so, you know what I did the next day? What I did the next day, the next morning, I tried it again. Now, mind you, everything in me told me, don't do it again. Don't do it again. You only going to get so far. Don't do it again. But I decided to try it again, and I made it just a little bit easier and a little bit easier and a little bit easier. And I started doing it every day, and that helped me. So I had to set up smaller goals. Help me move forward, setting smaller goals. And and that led me to my next oh my. My next oh my is kind of recent. I have understood now that I've had 2 strokes, one of which was fatal. Now, I did not know that before because I couldn't understand things, first of all, but also because this information was not communicated to me till recently. So, hmm. So what happened is I recognized that I've had 2 strokes, and one of them is fatal. And I'm expressing gratitude for everything that I did before the stroke, before the stroke, before the stroke that let me survive it, right? That let me survive it, because if I hadn't begun everything that I began before the stroke, I wouldn't be here. I would not be here. I would not be here because I gave up drinking. I started walking. I started jogging every day. I started all these things that were about repurposing Sekou, repurposing me, getting myself right, getting myself powerful before the stroke happened. When the stroke happened, my body was able to sustain it beyond the fatal stroke, right? And interestingly enough, this just came to me. This realization just came to me over Thanksgiving, because Fee King, my fiance, just said it out loud like it was nothing. Oh, like it was nothing. She was like, she was working out, doing something else, and she just happened to mention that that I should feel grateful for everything that I did before the stroke to survive it. And I was like, what? I'm sorry, what did you say? And that's when it came to me. Like, she brought it to my attention that that I can reach back and give thanks to the things that I did before the stroke. Because people keep saying that, oh, aren't you so sad that you doing all the right things, living the right way, and yet you had this thing. But no, all those things helped me survive. Helped me survive my second stroke, right? And so that just really impacted me. So, oh my, that that my stroke is living with other people. Oh my, it's that my stroke is living with other people around me that are having their own experiences with this. Because she said it like she's thought about it a long time. And it was my first time hearing those words. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. That's incredible that I made it through because of how I changed myself beforehand. All right. And so I just want to say that OCs, oh my's are happening all around us, all the time. Don't let my stroke be your excuse for not thinking yourself as privy to these oh my's. Oh my's are happening all the time, every day. You just have to be focused enough to pick up on them, because those are happening every single day. So I could go on, but I told Rev Mel I was going to stick to the page limit, to the amount limit. So I'm gonna end there. But for those of you that want to hear more about my stroke, more about my my experience, my survivor's experience, come watch my show with me, because that show used to be about money, and now it's about survival. I still talk about money, but mainly it's about survival, and how I made it from then until now, because the now of me today is different than the now of me then. The then before the stroke is a completely different person than I am afterwards. And I've heard this from so many people. So many close friends have said, Sekou, you're different. You're different than you were before. And I can't explain it. I can't explain it. Like, I don't remember who I was before, but I remember now that I'm just trying my best to win. Ashe. And now, sidebar, I was able to hold up the medal. This is the medal. This is the medal for my second attempt at doing the marathon. And I've been wearing this because I was talking about it with the Thanksgiving folks, and they were like, well, why don't you put your medal on? Why don't you put your medal on? So I've been wearing this ever since. Not Thanksgiving, but the day after Thanksgiving. And I put it on. They're like, oh, thanks. You know, taking photos and everything. So thanks to everyone who believed that they can. Because I have now completed the marathon twice, and I've accomplished both the marathons since I became sick. Now, like, let me hear you say that. Since I became sick, I have finished 2 marathons. I share. So let me stop now before I go on and say thank you. Thank you, Reverend Mel.
Thank you, Sekou. Yes, that is a big oh my, a big oh my for accomplishing. And Sekou says it as if he's reporting on the weather. You know, it's just, these are the things that, you know, occurred, and this is what I did. And, you know, it's sunny today and temperatures will be around 40 degrees. But it is such a, oh my God. It is such a, oh my God. And I just want to put that out there to you, Sekou. It is, you are a living testimony of what God can do through us and for us. But like you said, we have to be at the right place. We have to do the right things, right? We have to prepare ourselves now. And you said this, Sekou, you prepared yourself now for your future self. Prepare ourselves now for our future selves, because we never know what is going to be required of us tomorrow. We never know. Sekou ran, and this is what I talk about. Sekou talks about like it's the weather. Sekou ran every single day for 409 days. That's more than a year, y'all. Yes. Can we give something? Yes. 409 days. Had a stroke on July 14th, 2022. Then proclaims, I'm going to run the marathon 4 months later. Come on. And then does it. And on top of that, Sekou, I'm going to have to be your hype man right now for a moment.
Yes, you are.
And decided, not only I'm going to run the marathon 4 months after having a stroke and everybody thinks I'm crazy, right, for doing this, but I'm also going to attempt to set a new Guinness World Record for raising the most funds for a charity during the marathon, and raised the first year over $15,000. And then decided, all right, I'm going to do it again in 2023. Oh my, Sekou, come on now. Come on.
I gotta let you do my intros, because you do it so good. You do it so good. Like, the things that I forget are big deals. Are big deals.
Because you have just integrated it into being normal. Like, this is just how you roll now. You know? So for us witnessing it, we're like, oh my God. But for you, you're like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna I'm gonna do this thing. You know, it's all good. It's all good. Right, Mama Say Cool? I'm speaking the truth, aren't I, Fee? Yes. Yes. So I just want to highlight some of your takeaways. Oh my, God will place you at the right place at the right time, and you have to do the right thing. You have to do the right thing. Oh my, they will let me achieve as much as I believe I can. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe in ourselves. No one else determines what we can do. No one else determines what God can do. No one else determines that. And then I love, oh my, create smaller goals. Y'all, I ain't getting in that wheelchair. I don't know where that cane is. I don't know what happened to it. If you see it, let me know, right? Create smaller goals, right? The one I love, Sekou, is prepare yourself now for your future self. And I mentioned Sekou's book, Hack Your Pain Now. Sekou wrote that book before he had the stroke and then forgot he wrote the book because he had the stroke and then found the book, right? Found the book at Mama Sekou's house, read it, and was like, oh, this is pretty good. I wonder who wrote this. He wrote it. He wrote it. And everything that he wrote in it was about transforming pain, transmuting pain, healing from pain, right? So he prepared himself for his future self. And although he was not in the pain that he was in when he wrote the book, his self prepared it for all of us, because all of us go through some pain in our lives. So he gave us 10 easy commandments that we can use to heal the pain in our lives right now. So please go to Amazon and get the ebook. It is amazing. Make it your book club book. Make it your gifts to people for the holidays. It is extraordinary. And reach back and give thanks for everything, because the oh my's are all around us. Thank you, Sekou. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And now that you brought it up, I should mention that today is my 330th day of running outside. And so now, so now that you've reminded me, I'm doing it every day. I got out this morning and I ran here in Boston, even though it's cold, I'm doing it. I'm doing it every day to try to beat my former record of 409 days by going 410 days. That's my goal. 410 days.
Ashe, it is already done. It is already done. So thank you, Sekou. Thank you all for just being present to the demonstration of how God works. The mundane, the sacred, the profane, oh my, it's all one thing. It all works together for our highest good, no matter what, no matter what. So I'm going to turn it back over to Chris, who's going to just say a word of blessing for us.
And so as we are moving into that realm of pause, we acknowledge that each and every one of us is a powerful creator made in the image and the likeness of the One. That within each and every one of us is the power of intentions, of imagination, of creativity, of getting clearer and clearer about who each of us is and how we want to live on this planet and who we want to be to ourselves, to the people we love, and to the world. And so what I'm knowing on behalf of each and every one of us is that we are acknowledging the sacred power that is within us, that there is a resiliency, a reconnection with that power, that anything that feels daunting, that we face it with God's grace within us, that we hold on to who we really are and who we really want to be, that we open up to the miracles that are unfolding in ways we can't even comprehend. We give thanks for them anyway, because they are here and they are acting on our behalf. I know that with God, all things are possible, and God is good all the time. So may each of us move forward into this week, allowing God's love to break the shackles of hopelessness and cynicism, and to be renewed in faith about who we are and who we can be. So with so much gratitude for this coming together, for the transformation that is the living manifestation of Sekou, for this incredible opportunity to be reminded of who we really are, and for the good that is always saying yes, I surrender it over to the all-knowingness, the all-powerfulness, the ever-presenceness that is God. It is here, it is good, it is glorious, it is done. And please join with me by saying, and so it is. Amen.